Tune in Wednesdays at 4 p.m. to Vegas.
Whatever Sophia like to do, baby.
And let me help you go from nerdy to flirty and learn how simple it is to turn your dreams into reality on the Do You Wanna Dance radio.
Stand by.
Welcome to Do You Wanna Dance with Sophia in Sapphire. Learn how simple it is to go from wallflower dreamer to confident center of the stage dancer. Whether it's your first dance as husband and wife or another option for date night, we'll help you go from nerdy to flirty. Jumpstart your dancing journey and transform your experience into a personal
a dance star.
And now, your host.
Here she comes.
Here she comes, the one and the only.
Welcome to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live on VegasAllNetRadio.com. We are live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. This show is about inspiring you, helping you get out there, jump-starting your dancing journey, and getting the most out of your first dance experience. We have tips and tricks to show you how to get from nerdy to flirty. And today, with healing, we will learn how to heal from emotional and physical injuries and trauma, and how to heal with myofascial release. We will have insight on what happens to us when we do not address our well-being after a painful event. Our special guest today, who will be joining us, she is an expert on myofascial release. Her name is Rowena Kua from Body Resonance Myofascial Wellness Center, and she will be joining us shortly. So please stay tuned to hear more on that. If you missed a show, please visit our website, sophiainsapphire.com, to have access to archives and downloads. Like us on Facebook to be personally invited to our classes, events, and meetups. Co-hosting with me today is Magic Al Jensen. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Miss Sophia. It is my favorite time of the week, Wednesdays at 4 o'clock, right here in the studio with you. I love it to death.
That is so great to hear.
Oh,
good
absolutely.
Energy.
Well, thank you. Hey, I've got a quick question for you.
Oh, sure.
You mentioned that we have Rowena Kua
yes.
in the studio with us today, who is a licensed massage therapist specializing in myofascial release. I want to know, is this coincidence, or did you plan this strategically?
You know what is so interesting is that it's kind of coincidence, because I met Rowena at the Health Chamber of Commerce mixer before important event happened to me.
Yes.
And it's just perfectly sequential and has so much context in my life. And I scheduled Rowena to come in to be my guest today.
The stars are all aligned, and the moon is in the 7th house, and everything just fell into place.
It all falls into place.
Right guest, right time, right situation, right topic. I mean, we couldn't have asked for anything better in terms of timing.
Right.
I mean, well, let me just bring the audience up to speed, because what we're talking about is it fair to call it an injury? I mean, it's kind of an activation of a situation. It's not like you stepped off a curb and twisted your ankle. We can't just point to one particular event. But you are hobbling around even worse than I hobble around. And I have a legitimate reason to hobble around. I mean, not that you don't have a legitimate reason, but I mean, you out on the dance floor, I mean, you are just poetry in motion when I watch you dance, either with beginners or with your professional partner in competition, things like that. You just glide across the dance floor with the greatest of ease and grace, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. But now, your foot is giving you major fits, is that right?
Well,
what happened?
It's immobile. I cannot walk, which means I cannot dance, which means the instrument I use in my life for existing, basically, is kind of in critical condition. And what happened is I've actually been dancing on the pain for a few years, and it's something that just happens, you know, when you have impact repetitively and you traumatize a bone, it starts complaining. And for the longest time, I've been able to endure it, and basically there's nothing to do except stay off of it. And a lot of dancers are like, hey, you know, we're all hurting, you know, why are you, you know, saying anything? But it came to a point last week where I was came to training with my professional partner, and we started out, and I put on my shoes and I said, Eddie, you know, I don't know if I can train today.
Wow.
And he says, okay, well, let's take it slow. And we got through a couple dances, and I'm like, I have to change shoes. I don't know what it is. It was weird, but I couldn't move. And he's like, oh, okay, well, let's go home, let's rest, you know, let's, you know, reconvene tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd go to bed, rest, and everything would be okay.
Sure.
And the next day I couldn't walk.
Oh,
and basically what it is, it's called sesamoiditis. It's like tendonitis, and there's two small tiny little bones on the bottom of the foot, on the bottom of the metatarsal,
Mm-hmm.
that the foot rolls through as you walk. And so repetitive abuse onto that bone flares it up, and basically the pain will always be there for me. And an option to remove the pain is surgery, which I'm not keen on.
Nice.
But you know, I don't know. I don't know exactly what to do. We have an expert in studio who might have insight. But the thing is, this is the way I live. Dancing is
Sure.
a big part of my life.
Oh, it's the focal point of your life.
It's scary.
Now, last week we got together at one point, and you were hobbling, and I said, you know, you really don't want to put off seeing a doctor. So I hope that I was maybe a little bit instrumental in urging you to contact a physician and get a professional opinion about it. In fact, that was last Wednesday, you know, here at the show. And you did just that. You found actually one of your dance students happens to be a physician, happens to be a surgeon.
Yeah.
And who is that, by the way?
Well, big shout out, actually,
yeah.
to Dr. Mauricio Nino, and he's an anesthesiologist. He's here local in Vegas, and awesome dancer.
Awesome dance student and awesome physician. Because,
awesome, yeah.
Because he dropped everything and said, Sophia, you need help? What did he do?
He came to me.
He did a house call. I mean, nobody does house calls anymore.
Oh,
and he came right over to your place.
So blessed.
And let's continue the story.
Okay, let's continue.
Because in addition to coming over to your house and doing an initial evaluation, he said, you need to see a foot specialist.
Yes.
And what did he do?
Well, I already had a appointment for the following week because they couldn't schedule me sooner.
Uh-huh.
And then he just calls up on his cell phone his friend, who is like the best foot doctor in Vegas, and is like, hey, do you have a time today? I have a very special friend. Can she come in? And so right then and there, I dropped everything and took off. And you know what is so weird? Because I couldn't accept the fact that I couldn't walk. I was still making myself walk, you know, because I guess my pain tolerance is high, so I'm always like, oh, come on, you could take it. Oh, it's not a big deal, you know.
Maybe you can do it.
Maybe it's the Russian in me.
Mind over matter, you know.
But so you know, now I'm in a boot. I'm on crutches. I still can't walk. My foot is purple and swollen.
Do we want to shout out to the foot doctor?
We do.
And
it's Dr. Sure, Abdi Raisi. He's also a big part of this journey. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, shout out there. And I got to say that you and I are friends on Facebook, and you've got a lot of friends on Facebook. And I noticed a photograph on there last, I think, Thursday or Friday. And it was kind of funny. I had to look twice. I thought, okay, it makes sense to put ice on an injury, but is that alcohol I'm seeing in the picture? I mean, what's up with the liquor that I saw in that picture?
Well, you know, to keep it cold, it's chilled in the freezer. It doesn't freeze, you know.
So you keep your Russian vodka in the freezer?
Well, I didn't have enough ice, so I took all the booze out of the freezer and I put them in the tub.
Whatever
and I soaked it with my foot, and I invited people over for happy hour.
You know, I must not have gotten the mail that day because my invitation must have been lost.
So it was in the sequence of like 35 comments. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. I apparently totally missed that. But,
yeah.
You know, we've got a great guest. I want to bring on our guest here before too long. But real quickly, can you kind of give me an idea how this injury, because obviously dance is such a huge part of your life, how has it affected your perspective? Let's talk about competing, because you're scheduled to compete this Friday and Saturday night right here in Las Vegas.
There's a huge comp here. It's called the Nevada Star Ball. It's a few days long. It already started, actually. And Friday and Saturday, we were supposed to compete in the professional rhythm division. in the evening, and I was so looking forward to it, but now I'm disabled with my foot, so I can't do it. But the thing is, it's forcing me to slow down, you know, and I'm not scared, I'm not upset. I know this is somehow a blessing, and I do need to slow down, because before this, I was just running on empty, you know, not sleeping a lot, packing in my day, doing as much as I can, because, you know, I am driven. I'm a little too much sometimes. And so physically, emotionally, and mentally, I'm always on and working and pushing. And so basically, I'm embracing it, but it makes you kind of see things differently, you know, what your purpose is, who you are, and how can you feel good about yourself without fully having your talent, you know. It's kind of, it turns your brain around a little bit.
Well, that's good. It's kind of rewiring, you know, the
neural pathways.
The neural pathways. You're looking at things in a different way. So
yeah.
That's good that you're doing that and realizing the importance of slowing the body down and allowing the body and the mind opportunity to heal. So those are good things. We've got a lot more things to talk about, but I know we want to get our guest in here. So do you want to bring our guest on?
Yes, I do. Our very special guest today. Her name is Rowena Kua, and she is from, well, I'll let you tell you about yourself. She's a myofascial release expert, and she is so special because I actually have had an experience and treatment from her. So let's please welcome Rowena Kua.
Welcome, Rowena.
Hi there.
Glad to have you on the show today.
So tell us what you do and where you are located. Yeah, where you do it.
Well, I'm a licensed massage therapist. I have a business here called Body Resonance Myofascial Wellness Center, and we focus on chronic pain, people that have sufferings from different types of ailments, and I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome.
Excellent. And
awesome.
You know, the timing couldn't be better, you know, because we've got a situation here where, you know, we can relate directly to what you do to what Sophia's going through.
Yes, and you hit the nail on the head there, Sophia, when you said the synchronicity, because when I saw that picture on Facebook, I was like, oh, you know, I know a lot of dancers, a lot of performers that just kind of push their body.
Yeah.
And with what I was trained to do with the John Barnes myofascial release technique is that you have to listen to the body. The body is always telling us something about what's going on, whether if we're not getting enough sleep or we're not getting enough rest, the nutrients that we need to eat. So, you know, I know it's really hard, and I know you've kind of accepted it too. But, you know, I think your body's telling you, kind of slow down.
Yeah, and what's so cool is that you are the instrument that helps people, you know, take them from point A to B, from this really low state of, you know, injury and hurt to a totally different level.
Yes, you know, we see different people with different forms of ailments, and we always try to help them come back to their normal daily activities.
Very cool. So we are actually going to delve into that topic right away after our first commercial break, but we do have to segue into our first commercial messages. See you back soon. How's it going? How's it going?
Good.
Let's take a little break.
After these brief commercial announcements.
So, did I get you set up questions that?
Yeah, there was also one more person. Maybe at the end I could shout out to. Do you know Brad Travis? He works with crystals and massage or whatever. He also invited me to come in for a treatment, but it's really nice because people are offering what they can do. You know,
we can do that when we come back if you want to.
I've consulted and coached
you and I can chat for like a minute or two and give you a chance to shout out to Brad Travis.
Humor to their conversations and presentations. I can do the same for you.
So how can I set you up? What
just got easier.
What do you want to say about Brad?
So let's say that, you know, from this post on Facebook, so many good people are. Can you actually ask why I posted that? Because initially I didn't even want to make that post.
Sure.
So I kind of talk about that, and that will segue into.
Coaching and workshop dates. That's funny. Just got easier.com.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me every week for my.
So when we reintroduce you, I'll ask you what exactly myofascial is, okay? And
while you learn how to make
we could talk a little bit about
join my How to Dance
John Barnes, right? Because he's the one that
Don't do that. That's
at meetup.
he's the mastermind.
And visit SophiaInSapphire.com.
And maybe a little bit about
Are you sick and tired?
you
of
touched
not
on
seeing consistent
that
growth
you're
in your
inspired
business?
by
You
it,
feel
like
you're spinning
you're
your wheels no matter how hard you keep
like it
working?
hits
If you're
hits
ready to
home. You
finally
love what you do,
something
but
about
maybe
it, you can start
how did
growing
you get
your life.
started
Okay.
and why? And
My name is William.
I'll kind of
Maybe-
go into it of my own ailments.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe you could tie in me too. With yeah, actually, let's tie in that I saw you.
I started working on
We'll
It's
set
gonna be a staycation, or are you gonna
I'll let you lead.
Yeah. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to worry about anything.
472. And let's take
Look who's here.
OMG.
I'm just a fly on the wall, Mr. L. So you do.
Crazy Bob.
Great way to
Yeah, now if you want to put Bob on the radio, that's fine.
You wanna?
If you want me to.
This is Robert
Hey,
Rowena,
Rob Morgan, very nice to meet you.
friend and fellow radio. He has his own.
Radio personality.
Mentally and physically
Yes.
reconnect.
Yes, indeed. That's what it says in your business card.
Enhance the romance
Radio
and the
Bobcat, what's a good word?
What's going on, buddy? Hanging in there.
Learn to
Yep,
dance.
I got your email, thank you.
Visit
You're done. You're in the bag.
SophiaInSapphire.com or call 1-888-640-0202 to discover your elixir. Why dance lessons, of course.
Why dance lessons, of course.
Of course.
I was fighting my
The
tongue.
experience is so special.
Are
Sophia
the commercials too
Sapphire-
long?
So we're gonna see you Friday night, right?
Because
No,
3
no,
minutes,
yeah,
are they
what's
longer
the
than
body
3
like?
minutes?
So-
No?
Actually, this cake with Al's was
I
3:30.
got the front dress
Okay.
pressed.
Playful
Yeah.
for the
Massage
culture.
to the freezer.
No lesson is
Fun.
the same.
And I
You're
How
ready.
they
shave
break
my
it
Yeah,
legs.
you're up.
down.
You're fine. You're coming up on.
Very good.
To you.
You got
I will
first
not
dance
be-
experience, and then
I will not be checking
and a quick
to see if you did a
testimonial
good job.
here, and you're back.
I'm gonna trust you on that.
Yeah.
You're done. This set's 3.5 minutes ready.
With the Sophia in Sapphire Dance Superheroes.
Short them, Adam.
today.
Do whatever you like.
You're
Up and away.
the boss.
First
Whatever
dance
you want.
of the rest of your life.
Well, I don't know if it's too many
So
commercials or not.
experience
It's your
all
world,
joy
kid, we
and
run.
capture your unit.
I run in my show.
These
I run a
memories
4.5
will
minute
last
break.
forever.
Mm.
As pictures and
I think
stories
3.5
passed
is
on
good.
by family and friends.
Okay.
You deserve a perfect moment that focuses
Because
on the
you
two
need
of
that
you.
time also in
Give your
studio
guests
to kind of,
the gift of
okay, let's
shared
get back on
happiness.
track and make sure
This
we
is
know where
your
we're going
first
and
family story.
take a
The
little breather.
first intimate embrace. And the
What are you doing
first
back there,
timeless
Robert?
accomplishment
That's okay.
together.
I told you, I'm a fly on the
Your
wall.
First of all, who in the hell told you to come in the
So go
studio?
ahead, take him
did.
into your
Good
arms.
You did?
Yeah, I said, I gave him the 2 finger.
I gave the initial okay, guys. Come on.
You didn't clear it through me. I'm in charge of the studio.
It's okay with you?
So Al, yeah, we will go in and shout out, and also to segue back, maybe talk about how I came in to see Rowena,
Okay.
and then maybe she could share. Well, I'll ask her about what exactly it is, and
Stand by, everybody.
okay, okay, guys.
And I can't wait to take the next lesson.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live to Do You Wanna Dance Radio. Don't forget you could find us on SophiaInSapphire.com for past episodes and downloads. Also, if you would like to be invited and get in the game, find us on Facebook and like us, Sophia in Sapphire.
That's right, because you are on Facebook almost as much as I'm on Facebook. Well, that's not true. I'm probably on there even more.
You think so?
Any event, can I ask you a quick question about your Facebook post?
Yes.
I mean, I saw the picture and I'm thinking, Why in the world? I mean, that's not a typical post for you. Why did you make that post?
You know what? I am private. You know, on Facebook, I'll post like pertinent stuff, interesting stuff, and with content. Rarely about me, but you know, lately I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and I was thinking, you know what? I have friends out there that would probably like to know what's going on.
Well, yeah.
And so I posted, and I received so much love, and I'm like, you know what? It was so worth it because everyone deserves to know that they're cared about and loved. And I've had so many comments, like I said, I think almost 40 comments, and people reaching out and offering to help and swing by, or offering their expertise to see how they can make, you know, this better for me.
Sure, how they can offer their moral support and, you know, anything else.
Yeah, so the lesson learned actually is I think a lot of us sometimes don't give ourselves credit, or don't even pay attention to ourselves enough, and don't allow ourselves to be loved or, you know, cared for. And, you know, putting that post on is kind of significant to me because I'm like, wow, yeah, I deserve this love. I want this love. And everyone's cheering me on, and I think it's helping with the healing process.
Well, of course it is. Of course it is. Now, I know that that you reached out to our guest today. You reached out to Rowena.
She reached out to me.
Because of that post?
Yeah.
Excellent. But I guess what I was trying to say was the two of you connected and you went in for a treatment. I mean, tell me a little bit about that.
Right. Okay. So I unexpectedly, you know, Rowena was one of the first ones to reply, and she said, you know, I can help you. Let's address this and come on in. And so I did, and I never heard of myofascial release. It was really cool. I'm all about repairing the body and really getting to the core of it. And a lot of times we fix things or we mask things, and we think they're better. But this really gets to the core of what's really going on.
I couldn't agree more. And Rowena, I want to hear more. So why don't I know you've got some more questions for her, so why don't you take that?
So let's start with, what is myofascial release?
Well, I'm going to hopefully give you guys a brief synopsis of it, but it's a whole body healing, authentic. Fascia is tough connective tissue which spreads throughout the body in a three-dimensional web from head to toe without interruption. So the fascia surrounds every muscle, every bone, every nerve, every blood vessel, and every organ in the body, all the way down to the cellular level. Therefore, restrictions in the fascial system due to trauma, surgery, inflammation can create binding of the fascia, resulting in crushing pressure on nerves and muscles, bones, and organs. This can create pain and malfunction throughout the body, which, Sophia, that's what you were kind of feeling with your foot, correct?
Yeah. So in simplistic terms, I remember you did a really great visual for me. I came in to your room. It was awesome atmosphere, great lighting, and you had the skeleton and a vertebrae. And you used a piece of gauze to kind of illustrate what fascia is, and that when it's healthy and doing its job, it's more like planular, like a plane, right? And then when it gets stretched and manipulated, it tightens up.
Correct.
Is that right?
So when there's trauma to the body, whether it's from an accident, repetitive stress, surgeries, the fascia can bind and cause up to 2,000 pounds per square inch of pressure.
Wow. That's
huge.
A lot.
And interestingly enough, there is no MRIs, no CAT scans, no x-rays to detect fascial restrictions. Only a trained therapist that can see and feel the restrictions can address it.
So how do you think it went? I loved your treatment. I definitely want to go again. I'm going to recommend you for sure. But tell me a little bit, share with our audience what happened and how do you think it went?
Well, I know a little bit something about you as far as your dancing and your competitiveness in ballroom dancing. And when you posted that photo on Facebook, I can't help but anytime anyone has any issues health-wise, ailment-wise, I'm always there because this is what I love to do, and I love to help people. So when you came in, obviously I showed you the pelvis. I kind of gave you a quick synopsis in the videos of what happens when the body is traumatized. Right. With that polar bear.
I love that video.
Yes.
So let's kind of share with our listeners. So animals actually, when they get into trauma, they just naturally release that stress within their body through shaking or sweating and deep breathing, which is something humans don't necessarily do because they bottle it up and freeze.
Yes, or we go through that flight, fight, freeze response. And what happens with traditional healthcare is that we're not given permission or allowed to actually go through that healing process that's natural and organic.
And then, the freezing that happens, it traps like emotions, right?
Trapped energy from whatever trauma it is, whether it's emotional or physical.
And people can carry that around for years.
Yes, people can carry that around for however long they live.
Crazy, crazy. So I know you must have some interesting stories. Tell us a little bit about why you're so passionate about what you do.
Well, a few years ago, I was working in corporate healthcare, and I tried every type of modality for my own headaches and pains. I had migraines, severe headaches, and nothing really helped me. The doctors gave me medications, and I refused to take it for, a long time. And I found a therapist in New York that specialized in this work. Like yourself, I've never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
I researched it, I tried it, I felt significant relief with my own headaches and migraines, and I'm like, what is this? So I really felt like this is something I need to delve into. I went to a John Barnes healing seminar.
Mm-hmm.
From then on, I said, I need to go to massage school. I need to help people learn more about this and actually heal.
So cool. I love that because I feel like the parallel here is I help people heal through dance in a different way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But it's definitely a vehicle, right, to get to where you want to go, which is healing.
Yes.
I understand that you have a story that's kind of personal. Is it okay to talk about your father and his situation?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us about that.
So my dad's been a big skeptic of what I do. He didn't know why I have my own business. But he came in actually just having symptoms of neck pain, back pain, and tennis elbow. So with the John Barnes approach, Myofascial release, is we treat the whole body, not just symptoms. So I obviously treated his symptoms, but I also felt energetically around his stomach area, and I palpated and I felt a huge mass that I've never felt before with a strong aortic pulse. And lo and behold, we got him to see a doctor, and the CAT scan showed that he had a 5.3 aortic abdominal aneurysm.
Oh,
my goodness.
Yes. Even the doctors looked at me and was like, wow.
Huh.
That's, really interesting that you found that. So I attribute it to all the training and the skills that I've learned through the seminars that John Barnes and many, many other therapists take throughout the U.S. and internationally.
So is it fair to say that without a doubt, you making that discovery probably saved his life?
Yes, I think so.
Because a ruptured aneurysm
absolutely
is death in moments.
Yes, so obviously he had to have surgery,
right?
Stent placed put in, but his healing and recuperation has been excelled through the myofascial release work as well.
But to identify that, and had he not come in for treatment,
absolutely.
I mean, it could have been a much different and less exciting outcome.
Absolutely. So I'm so grateful and fortunate.
Yeah, as well you should be fortunate. Do you have some other stories you can share with us about some of your patients and maybe some major impacts that you've had?
Well, I get a lot of times when people come and they're skeptics, they don't know what it is, and I get text messages and emails, Facebook messages saying, wow, I really feel like I'm alive again. Or, my child is actually not crying anymore because the colic is gone. Or just they've returned to their lifestyle where they can actually move and pick up their grandchildren. So to me, that's rewarding in itself that I can help facilitate someone's healing process in that capacity.
So cool. I want to hear more on this. We have to segue into our next commercial break, so we will be right back after these messages. Really cool. You have such a soothing voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Robert, why don't you come closer?
And I think we have our next. It's called volunteer for our Friday night.
I do want to point out with our.
I know, Al already did. Black dress as you requested.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
All right, let's just don't get cocky over there, Mr. Robert.
I'm just saying.
I'll chuck you out of here. This ain't Thursday night BCN.
As you did on last Thursday.
Then listen up. My name is William Mears, and I'm the founder
Sophia,
of
we have
Productions,
another
and
person here
creator
who
of
would
the
really
MVP
make a
strategy.
good contribution to our Friday night get-togethers.
Business acceleration strategy.
Oh,
You
yes.
pick up the phone and call
Yes.
me.
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Invite me to
Glad
your
you came up
after
with that.
party
Give me a
things.
call.
I don't want to go.
Let's take your business to a whole
Don't get asked the
new level.
first
How are
time
you,
we don't go, do we, Robert? I bet you go, don't you, Robert?
No, I've been instructed. I wasn't asked.
But you were just told to go.
Yeah.
These memories will last
And oddly enough, I was
forever
also told to
as
wear a black
pictures
dress.
and
I don't get
stories
that.
passed on by
Just gonna
family
go
and
around?
friends.
Thank you
You
for
deserve
ignoring
a
that one.
perfect moment that
Appreciate that.
focuses on the two of you. Give your guests the gift
Hey,
of
come on.
shared
Yeah?
heartbeat.
What do you do? Huh?
This is your first
So, Rowena, are
feminist
we,
work,
how are we
your
doing?
first
Let's
intimate
take
embrace,
your pulse here,
and
take the temperature,
first
and see
timeless
how are we
accomplishments
headed in the right
together.
direction? We giving you a
You
chance to
dancing for each
showcase
other.
your skills,
So go
abilities,
ahead,
and
take
things
him
like that.
into your arms.
We will,
Hmm?
before the conclusion of the next segment, we will get a chance to mention your,
Sapphire experts.
we call it office, we call it studio, do we call it, what do we?
Center.
Center, okay.
Wellness center.
The location and contact information,
And have a
things like that.
playful company culture. No lesson
So
is the same.
be ready for website, social media, telephone, location, hours, anything that you want to share with our
It's
audience.
like no other. Fill out
Do you have
the
some
Get
questions
Started
to ask?
form and get started
In
with
particular?
Miss Sophia
Not in
Inside.
particular,
Okay,
but I do.
I wanted to ask,
Today.
can we correlate to where certain emotions are trapped? Like, is fear like trapped somewhere, or like? I'll ask the question.
Increase your
Take it.
I mean, even if you want to, I mean, I know this Robin Williams thing just really happened and
Yeah.
it's really affected a lot of people.
Yeah.
If we could talk, if you want to kind of relate it to
Sure.
depression and
Yeah.
unresolved emotions.
Yeah.
depression,
With each other.
We could do that.
Enhance the
Okay.
romance and the excitement. Spice up your relationship and learn
One
to
of the
dance.
things that I would
Visit
normally do is I would
sophiainsapphire.com
take a look
or
at
call
this part of her brochure.
Yes.
Can, MFR help me and talk about some of the conditions like fibromyalgia,
Okay.
insomnia, sciatica.
So do you want to take that?
I will use the. If you have something to go
I have
with,
something to go with.
then you go with that.
And then you do this.
I will use this
Good.
as backup.
Cheat sheet.
If you give me the look like,
Do I ever do that?
well, not as I'm illustrating, not like, but when it becomes
Well, to
apparent,
balance it out.
yeah,
Okay.
when it becomes apparent that it's my turn to ask questions, then I have some things ready to go. And if you just ask questions the whole segment, that's fine with me too. I'm sorry I missed that.
Your headset on, young lady.
Oh, Robert.
OMG.
Do you want to listen?
I can hear.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live to Do You Want to Dance Radio. Don't forget you could find us on sophiainsapphire.com for past episodes and downloads. Also, if you would like to be invited to our events, please find us on Facebook and check it out. Today in studio, we have a full of guests. We have co-host Magic Al Jensen.
Yes, indeed. Always happy to be here.
We have Rowena Kua. She's from Body Resonance Wellness Center.
Hi.
And we also have a fly on the wall, Robert Morgan, in the corner.
Hi, Robert. We don't have a microphone for you. You can't reach the microphone.
I think I got it now.
Robert, you've been on the show a time or two before.
Have I?
Yes, you look strangely, vaguely familiar, like I've seen you in your.
Oh, I bet you say that to all the girls, Al.
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking today about myofascial release. We're talking about healing pain and trauma, both physically and emotionally. And Rowena Kua is an expert in myofascial release. And we're talking about unwinding today, right?
Awesome. One of my favorites.
So maybe you could tell us a little bit more on what unwinding is, and then maybe also tie in, I've heard like emotions trapped in the body where a fear is lodged somewhere as a pain or depression is lodged. Give us some more info on that.
Well, unwinding is your body spontaneously moving to help fix itself. It has, our body has that ability to heal itself. And a lot of times we don't allow that to happen. So when you're asking about, trapped energy, trapped emotions, depression is a great example. Like depression is unresolved, unreleased emotions that are trapped in the fascial system, and they can cause other ailments. So when people come in to get a treatment, there's a possibility, most likely they will unwind, and when they unwind, it's their body just healing itself to actually, it's given permission to feel what society has told us to ignore or to not feel at all, to kind of like suck it up or, just push through the pain. When that happens, the body tends to fight and will give you other forms of ailments to stop you in your tracks.
Which is exactly your situation, Sophia. You were putting that pain off and suppressing it. And I know one of the things that you promote, one of the conditions that you can serve is repetitive stress and sports-related injuries.
Perfect.
And that's specifically what you have experienced is repetitive stress, and it is a sports-related injury because, you are using your body to move in the dance, and that's definitely sport.
Yeah, so is there a healing that can be permanent from myofascial release, or is it something that everyone needs on a continual basis?
Well, I would recommend people getting it on a continual basis because when you have the fascia open and it's pliable, what they say through the unwinding process is research now is showing that interleukin 8 is being given off or released in the body, and interleukin 8 is your natural body's antibody to fight inflammation. So it does prevent a lot of disease, getting it continuously because, we go through all different stresses in life, whether it's emotional, issues with family. So continued myofascial release is definitely recommended.
Now, is it fair to assume that like people with headaches and migraines and tension in the neck and shoulder area, I would assume that would be something that you would have a dramatic impact on?
Yes, absolutely. Most of the times when people come in for symptoms like that, obviously we treat the area, but we also focus on balancing the pelvis because that's where the whole focus is. If your pelvis is not in alignment, the fascia can pull because it's, continual. The fascia is continuous.
Sure.
So I'll give an example of what a fascia looks like is like when you peel off a chicken skin, that gelatinous layer, that's what fascia is.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we definitely look at the whole body. And,
I'm glad you look at it because that's something that's not terribly appealing to me, but I'm glad there are people, like yourself who can do that. And I also understand that TMJ, that's the situation with your jaw. I used to know how to pronounce that, temporomandibular
joint.
Yeah. Easy for you to say. But so I'm assuming that you can help with those kind of things as well.
Absolutely. We always relate that back to the pelvis. If the pelvis is not aligned, it goes straight back to the posture and your spine, and it causes clicking and dysfunction with the mandibular bones.
Does that have anything to do with your balance?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I know that my mother had some balance issues, and had she been around when I met you, then it could have been a different outcome for her. She had some serious balance impairment issues. Now you also talk about some other things that you can help with, things like stress and insomnia, difficulty breathing, things of that nature. How does myofascial release help in those situations?
Well, like I said, we focus on balancing the pelvis, but more so than that, we've had past trauma, whether we've remembered it as a child falling down a tree or hitting ourselves on the pavement with roller skates, whatever. But that's always trapped in the body if it's not addressed, and it becomes cumulative. Those cumulative effects can cause insomnia because on a subconscious level, your body's going through that accident or that surgery or that fall over and over again like a broken record. So on a conscious level, you're not aware of it because you just want to go to sleep, right?
Oh, absolutely.
How do you find those areas? Like when somebody comes with symptoms, how do you possibly locate?
Yeah, where do you start?
Well, I'll give you, John Barnes is our mentor and the pioneer of this work. And what he teaches is if you feel like you're going to go walk into that room and you know what you're going to do, then you have absolutely no idea what you're going to do. Because everyone's individual body will be different. Just because they've been labeled with the same diagnosis, which is just a label, you treat the whole person individually different at every time. So to address your question, we definitely look to see for the imbalances. We look for texture as far as tenderness, hot, or locations of different mobilities, and that's how we can detect fascial restrictions.
You definitely must have a talent for this, an awareness, a keen sense of awareness.
I've taken a lot of courses, and it's also taken me a lot to develop my skill because I had to go through my own healing process. And a lot of therapists that don't do this work, they just are therapists and they can't understand why people are in pain. I actually know what it feels like to be in pain, and this work has helped me personally. So that's how I can relate to my clients and my patients.
So awesome. So if someone's interested, tell us a little bit where you're located, how can we find you and work with you?
Well, you guys can find me on Facebook. It's Body MFR, M as in Mary, F as in Frank, R as in Robert. My website is also bodymfr.com. We're located at 5463 South Durango Drive, Suite 120E, Las Vegas, Nevada. And our phone number is 702-776-8881. We also have workshops. We teach a lot of seminars for people for self-myofascial release techniques. We teach workshops for parents to help, heal their child as well.
And where are those invites or events posted?
Yes, if you log into the Facebook page, we'll always post our events going on in there as well as the website.
And if somebody wanted to find out more on the pioneer, which you've mentioned many times, John Barnes, he has a ton of articles out there. Actually, you shared with me, and they're so cool. Does he have a book?
Yes, his book is called Healing Ancient Wounds. I highly recommend it. It's changed my life. It's just a great book.
And does he come to town every once in a while?
He comes to town to teach seminars. He's actually going to be here in September for a whole vacation series where he's going to be teaching Myofascial Release 1, Myofascial Release 2, and Unwinding.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I've heard about John Barnes in the past, and I know that he has a great reputation, and you must feel so fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to study with and under him.
Yes, I'm very blessed and I feel very humbled, and you guys can find him on myofascialrelease.com as well.
So one thing before we have to cut into our next commercial break, so what you do is super, special, you're talented, but is there anything that you can recommend that we can do to ourselves to upkeep our body on a continual basis?
Well, I highly recommend for people just to become aware of their bodies. The body gives you, there's always signals that the body gives you, whether it's pain, whether it's being tired, whether it's indigestion, and those are all signals of possible fascial restrictions. And it's all about having more awareness of what your body is trying to indicate to you.
Right. So, Sophia, continue to pay attention. When your body talks to you, pay attention and respond.
Well, the thing is, I do get it. I pay attention. It's just I don't necessarily know what to do.
Yes. And that's why Myofascial Release comes in, because as a therapist, we also teach you things that you can do on your own. We also teach you different forms of healing mechanisms to heal yourself in between sessions as well.
So now we have a resource.
We do.
Yes, we do. We have a resource. Hey, we talked a little bit off air about a gentleman named Brad. Can you tell me a little bit more about Brad Travis?
So Brad Travis has also been frequenting the Health Chamber of Commerce Mixers, and he does healing through crystals and energy work and massage. And he was another kind soul that reached out to me on Facebook and said, hey, come on in. I think I can help you. And I went in actually last night, and really neat. I've never ever seen crystals so big.
Really?
And I don't even know how or what, but it was great and amazing. So kudos to Brad Travis, Earth Balancer. You could find him on Facebook, Earth Balancer. So we have to segue into our last commercial break, but please stay with us. We will be right back after these messages.
Hooray.
You got a good intro?
Yeah, that was perfect. How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah?
Yes.
Did we hit everything you want to talk about?
How do you think it went?
You're great.
Awesome.
You're very pleasant to listen to. Like you have a nice voice.
Yeah, I feel like I know you for therapy.
Yeah, do you accept my insurance?
Yeah.
Robert,
Que pasó, güey?
what were you in the area?
A great way to rekindle the romance with your
I was gonna. I had a
increase your intimacy
4:30,
while
but it got
also
pushed
having
off
fun.
to about
Spend some
7:30.
quality time and learn
Figured I
how
was
to dance.
passing by.
Improve your verbal
Come in here
and
and
nonverbal
Thanks for
Crash the
visiting.
party.
Thanks for
Do it
visiting.
in a way
You're
that will
welcome.
both
You shouldn't have said my
mentally
name.
and
You should
physically
have said Bob's
reconnect you
here.
with each
Oh,
other.
we can.
Enhance
Crazy
the
Bob?
Well, now
romance
it's
and the
kind of
excitement.
dead
You
now.
can go to the, you can go to, no, I mean, you can go to the green room and call in.
Visit SophiaInSapphire.com or
Oh, you can call in from right there.
Go, come on.
Wouldn't have been. Nah,
Come on,
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
It's too close.
It's gonna be a little too
You gotta
obvious.
you gotta
Go out
you
in
gotta
the
do
hall.
that. Go to the green
Go
room
out
or
in the
someplace like that. Yeah.
Come on, go.
All right. You ready to take a call?
Are you sick and tired of not seeing consistent growth?
What should he ask you?
You're spinning your
Yeah, what do you want me to
wheels no
ask
matter
you?
how hard you keep working.
Um,
If you're ready to finally do something
I don't know.
about it, so
Figure
you
out
can
an old
start
guy
enjoying
calling
your
in.
life more. Then listen up. My name is William Mears, and I'm the founder of Mears
I'll
Media
come up with
Productions,
back
and
pain.
creator of the popular
Not gonna help you with back pain.
strategy.
Back pain.
And I'm here to
Oh, I've got
build
back
my
pain.
most powerful
He
business
does it, right?
acceleration strategies with you.
Oh,
You
I'd
pick
like
up the
to
phone
also
and
try
call
to
me.
mention my
Together,
sister.
we can create
Okay.
that magical growth you've been
As-
As
So what are you
working
waiting
with me and as
Oh, yeah.
she's got her doctorate
Okay.
in physical therapy, and I totally forgot. I'm like, oh, I should mention her.
Yeah,
And let's
yeah,
take your
sure.
business to a whole new
Okay,
level.
let me bring that up. I see
It's
that
Sophia from
there's
Sophia
another
in Sapphire.
Kua.
Another
Yes,
good
another
Vegas on
Kua.
the radio.
Another
For
Kua.
We're tag
how to
team.
dance in
You
real
tell me
life
who that
situations,
is.
beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to
Ah,
flirty.
And then
While
we
you
have
learn how
a
to make
caller.
dance more than just a
I want to ask you a
one-time
question.
thing. Join my How to Dance in Real Life Situations meetup at meetup.com.
And I'll count you
and
down
visit
to the
Sophia in
music
Sapphire.com
outro,
for more
53:45.
information.
I could talk over it
It's
though,
the
yeah?
first
You have 30
dance
seconds. Once
of
the
the
music
rest
starts, you have
of
30
your
seconds.
life. So experience
And
all the joy
Mike does a real
and
good job of
capture
giving you the
your
10
moment.
seconds left,
These
5
memories
seconds,
will
4,
last
3, 2,
forever.
1, and you get
As
down to this.
pictures and stories
John Lindquist's
passed
voice
on
comes
by
up. You don't want to be
family
talking
and
over that.
friends.
Or
You
you'll be in
deserve
big
the
trouble.
perfect moment that focuses
Nobody
on the
talks
two
over
of
John
you.
Lindquist.
You'll be
Give your guests
you'll be
the
going over
gift
the
of
knee.
shared partnership.
Shh,
This
no
is your
spanking.
first
Good thing over the
family
knee.
story.
Stop it.
The first
Did you notice that little
intimate
glimmer in her
embrace.
eye when she like going over the knee?
You're horrible. Stop it.
I don't think she liked that little spank.
I didn't like it.
Yes, you did.
No,
You're
I did
smiling.
not.
If you didn't like it, you wouldn't be smiling.
I just wanted to let
Uh-huh.
you know my husband and I.
Look at the smile on him, man.
Oh, yeah.
You'd take a swing of a damn Alex Rodriguez and knock that smile out of there. Look at that. What's that boy from Las Vegas playing from Washington?
And that made us look good at our wedding.
Oh,
Our wedding
no,
dance
man.
specialist from Sophia and Sapphire was amazing.
I have no idea.
And how to dance
You got to Google. Google that shit.
in a way that someone with no dance experience like us could still learn.
So you
and
look,
make it
well,
look
you
great.
see her crack. You see the buzz. You see how remember she remembered
You're
that sound
bad.
right there.
Located closest to us.
You're bad.
I know. 5.5 minutes left now. Okay, here you go, folks.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live to Do You Wanna Dance Radio. So today we had an awesome guest, Rowena Kua. She is a myofascial release expert. Please debrief a little bit and tell our guests and listeners where they could find you again.
My website is bodymfr.com. My Facebook page is bodymfr. So you guys can find me there. Our phone number is 702-776-8881 as well.
Now, I've been looking at one of your brochures as we've been doing the interview today, and I see there's another Kua listed on your Body Resonance Myofascial Wellness Center brochure. Who is this other Kua that works with you?
Yes, that is my awesome sister. She has her doctorate in physical therapy. She was also once a skeptic with myofascial release.
Mhm.
And she became a true firm believer now. So I'm very fortunate to work with her. Her name is Rosemary Kua.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. That's wonderful to be able to do that. And I think that we have a caller.
We
Is there
have a
question?
caller on the
Can we-
line.
can we call her in?
Let's bring on our caller. Hello, who's calling? Oh.
Is this Bobby? Well, thank you. I understand that you have a question for Rowena. Yeah, that's another story, another day.
Well, if you'd love to come in for a treatment, you'll get to see, because what we do, you have to feel. And it's great to see a chiropractor as well, but chiropractic treatments, they'll only give you temporary relief, just like all the other forms of massage or traditional forms of therapy. So myofascial release is unique in that way, where we can actually help heal your back from within and not just superficially.
So when Bob comes in, how much time will you spend with him? I'm assuming you spend some time evaluating, and then how much time treating?
Yes, well, the first time someone comes to see us, we treat you for an hour and a half with initial consult, evaluation, and treatment. So about maybe 20 minutes or so, we'll do the whole consult evaluation. The rest is all treatment.
Bob, you had another question or a follow-up? Well, you do. We'll be taking your credit card information here in just a few moments. And as delightful as she sounds, she is equally as beautiful. So you would appreciate an opportunity to not only listen to her, but to spend time in her wellness center, having her evaluate and provide some treatment for you. I think it would do a world of good for you, Bob.
Well, thank you for your call, Bob. It was great to hear from you again. All right, take care.
Thanks, Bob. It's always great to have Bob call in, because he is, number one, he's a dancer. He loves to dance.
Yeah.
And he's one of the favorite followers of the Do You Want to Dance radio show.
And totally engaged with, our guests and topics of the day. So.
That's right.
So, having this injury, just to debrief, has been mind-opening, but it was great because, it's reconnecting me to Las Vegas locals and actually allowing me to showcase their expertise on radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't it great to be able to bring in experts, people who are able to support the dance community? And there's so many connections between what Rowena does and dance.
Yeah, I know. And, I think the theme of wellness is super important. It ties in with, wellness in dancing and how dancing plays a part in well-being, anti-aging, warding off depression, all of these things, which, myofascial release does too, except totally different, right? Because dancing is, more of a hobby, fun, engaging, and a mental thing. It stimulates the mind. And something like myofascial release is something that can de-stress you physically, make you feel better, and unwind all of what's trapped inside. So you've been listening to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We will be live again next week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. So please join in and check you later.
Awesome job!
Great voice there.
You're making me blush.
He's good, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have a few minutes to debrief?
Yeah. And learn how simple it is to turn your dreams into reality. On the Do You Want to Dance radio show, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. right here on Vegas.
Yes.